All right, guys, welcome into DTI's training trade session. We are here live. Let me encourage you, if you don't keep up with things, make sure you go to dtitrader.com/telegram to view the early morning comments from Tom. He had a lot of them this morning. And as always, welcome into our YouTube users. For those of you who'd like to follow along on YouTube, go to dtitrader.com/YouTube. And while you're there, join Tom Busby's free YouTube. You got the link there, dtitrader.com/YouTube. Make sure to subscribe. Click that little bell. Make sure you get the little icons around it so it will warn you when we're coming online. Get that little pop up. I got it this morning. Always looking forward to that. And go ahead and like these videos, especially if you do like them. Let us know because we always like to know if we're giving you what you really want. And we do accept feedback. So feel free to comment on those videos. And
Yeah,
we
Chuck,
like,
let me go back real quick, if you will. Uh, let's take a pause. And Wendy, I guess Son is a marketing person out of New Orleans. I talked to her yesterday, and I didn't know this, but she said that if, since we meet every day, this is a free thing we're doing. If you'll go, we'll pause every day for a minute. If you'll go every day and I guess, and hit like, I guess, like, is that, I think that's what you do. Well, anyway, the algorithms will pick up our channel and start distributing it to other people and grow what we're doing, which makes it worthwhile as the numbers grow. And so we'll pause every day. We'll call it a 1 minute pause to give everybody a chance to support us if you do it. Wendy just I had a nice conversation with her yesterday. She just joined about 3 or 4 programs. We were talking, and I didn't know this. I've been beating my head against a wall. It's a very valuable channel. And if y'all do that for me, I'll appreciate it. We'll just see if it grows. And those algorithms will start feeding some new people in here, and that'd be great. But you
yeah,
search YouTube, and you won't find. I don't think you'll find as much different topics and things in there based on what I did when I searched it. There's day trading, portfolio building. There's a lot of great information in there. And on a Saturday, maybe you ought to go through it. But anyway, if you'll do that, I'll appreciate it. And give me a yes if you took the time to do it. I'm going to
and
see
Tom,
who's with. Hey, hold it, Chuck. I'm going to see who's with me and who's against me.
Tom, I'd also like to encourage everybody to comment on there. Those increased interactions are going to help out as well. And giving us feedback lets us know what you're looking forward to in these presentations. So not only like, not only subscribe, but also comment. Let's get those interactions up. It makes the
Chuck,
whole
you
presentation better.
need to post that link in the chat room according to Wendy. Copy the link and put it in the chat room. This has got to be something we got to do every day. We're going to do it together. And everybody click, like, and move on. Close it out. So you need to put that link in the chat room. You or Jonathan need to get it in the chat room. All right, there it is, folks. And then give me a yes if you go there and you did it. We're going to see if we can't build this thing. We'll play the algorithms against each other, right? That's the plan.
There you go. Definitely. Uh, the more interaction we have, not only does it give us a little bit of coverage out there so that people looking for us can find us, but it also helps us to improve the product. So if you want to make those comments, absolutely do so. I know that Adam, Jonathan, myself will be reading them at the end of each day, so we look forward to hearing from you guys. Uh, Definitely up the ante a little bit. We do a lot of providing of information, Tom, but we also want to be able to react to information as well. So the more interaction, the better.
Well, one thing that what made DTI what I believe is a premier education company was over the years, and Chuck knows this to be true. I listen to you because you are the ones I'm really trying to tailor what we do. And when I listen to you, I get ideas every time I have a conversation. As a lot of you are aware, I don't know anybody else that will get on the phone and talk to you it seems like that's out of vogue for all the new people. They don't want to talk to anybody. I want to talk to people that are taking our product and learn how to improve it. I've done it my whole career. I've had conversations with a lot of people, and I give them credit because that's where I get my ideas from. So I love getting feedback, as Chuck just said, and we need to change some things. We'll do it. Okay.
Right. I'm just gonna
All right.
click in,
Back at you.
looking.
Back at you, Chuck. You can go on. I wanted to stop that. This is going to be a big deal for us to try this and see if it improves. I've been so disappointed since I've been doing that sucker, killing myself trying to put stuff there, but nobody knows it.
Okay. All right. So we got everybody in there, and I'm gonna have to get my YouTube set up where I've got a specific information. So I'm gonna get that straightened away. But I did say hello to everybody in the YouTube chat. Great to see the interaction there. We'll keep an eye on it as we go forward. Now, for today's presentation, we are going to be talking about markets. There is a very high degree of risk involved in trading. We want to make sure that you understand that any decisions that you make are yours and yours alone. So keep that in mind. And we've got, what have we got? Past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. And we'll get that link for the slides in just a moment. Want to talk a little bit about some of the news. Listen, Iran is going to be on the top of the list until it's not. So just that's sort of a static news item. We're going to keep you updated on crude. They opened for trading this session at 96.74. The Strait of Hormuz is the big issue there. Friday morning news, GDP revised down from 1.4% to 0.7%. Now, if you remember when GDP first came out a month ago, we were expecting a lower number, and I told you, hey, 1.4 is actually probably better than what we should have expected, given the fact that we had a government shutdown for most of the fourth quarter. These are fourth quarter numbers, Q4 2025. So that revision down, I don't think is all that surprising. The market's kind of shrugged it off. So we're not going to worry too much about that. Now, if we get another revision down on the final number, well, then we got to start thinking, okay, wait, what's going on here? But for now, it just is what it is. It's still a positive number. That's the real takeaway from that GDP revision. Core PCE is at 3.1%. That's up from 3.0%. Really not all that shocking. And the standard PCE, which includes the volatile markets, is actually down at 2.8%. It's really unchanged, so it's not really throwing the markets around too much. Actually, Tom, I got to be honest with you. I'm watching the market when all that information comes out, 8:30 Eastern. Very little reaction out of the market in the immediacy of the release. Now, we did crawl up a little bit afterwards, made that big run up to today's high at 67.3750. But really, it was a muted reaction on the news.
Well, let me tell you. Let me just tell you something, Chuck. In the cycle, there's two times I think you really got to focus now in this kind of market. One is RB1, which is from 6 to 6:30, and RB2, which I get up early for that. See, I know a lot of people don't get up early, right? But if you're up at you're up at 5 or 6, you get such a jump on everybody else. So this morning when I went long, the S&P was trading. Think about what was it? 60. What was it? 60. Let me get the right digit. It was 66.75, right, Chuck? Is that right? I got the right digit. 66.75. Is that off RB2?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. Okay. So I looked at it, and then you had a positive reference bar that I said, this thing is strong from 5 to about 8. it's all the money you could make, but you had to be up to take advantage of it. Okay. And that happened, and it's a trade. And that's the other thing people don't realize. There's a lot of ways to make money, but that's a trade, a great high probability trade. But how do you do that? Well, you got to get out of bed and do it, right? And yeah, I'm
And
talking futures there. But then if you go look at my Magic Five, which I post there, MU was at the time, MU was what was it? I had to look at it, Chuck. MU was at 405. Even in this sell-off, MU took off and went to 430. Well, I know that's a high price stock. You can't trade options, but we're going to talk today about taking a little bit of money and getting a scholarship in my TNT. Anybody interested in that that's not a member? We're going to show you how today to do that. Take a little bit of money, get a scholarship for most people if you're up, to take advantage of it. Then after the options open at 9:30, we'll show you another way. Give me a yes if anybody's interested in learning how to do that off the Magic Five. It's so valuable, and people that have come to my training know how to do it, but I'm going to share it with everybody this morning when we get there. Take
yeah,
it away.
and Tom, it was mentioned we're talking futures, right? And yes, you and I do talk futures, but if you want, there are stocks that you can trade at that time in the morning. So a lot of people have this idea that the stocks are just the opening bell in New York to the closing bell in New York, but there are a lot of these stocks that do trade around the clock, and they are available early in the morning. Probably not a lot of volume, but they are available.
So you use limit orders and get in. I bought it this morning, and I got busy, and I turned around, and the sucker was soaring, and I couldn't get out of it fast enough because I forgot to get out of it. And but that's an example. And the other things you learn, okay, other things you learn is you learn where the money is going early in the morning, which is a great thing to have. And Chuck does a great job of giving you other information you need. We're going to cover some of that. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Now, and going back to our news that's shaping the market, we do have rollover at the end of the day in futures. That's going to affect things as we get to the end of the day. So, for you futures traders, be aware of that. Uh, there's a premium when you go from one contract to the other in futures. That typically means that the market has some health to it. So we'll see if that holds up. It is there. It's about 50 points in the S&P, so that premium does exist. Tom and I have both traded when there was a deficit in future to future contracts. So the fact that we still have a premium, people look at the market, they're a little bit scared that it's down right now, but the premium still exists in the futures, and I think that's worth noting. So that rollover occurs at the end of the day. Next week, futures traders are going to be on the June contract. So put that in there, and at some point, we probably need to cover that moving from one contract to the other in the roadmap. We'll probably do that a little bit later on today. Some of the key levels to be aware of, the FTD high is still 69.11 quarter. That's not really a function for the market right now. It's far enough away. The month open at 68.20. I'm not sure if we're going to get that, but 67.1875, the FTD low. We have been in and around that number for a good part of this morning, and we'll see if we're able to climb back to it. Right now, we're back down to Tom's pivot at 66.75, but don't forget about that 67.1875. Could be an important level in this market today. Now, we'll get into the my opinion part. We've done a pretty good job of addressing your opinion, Tom. Do you have anything else to add on the market condition?
Yeah, I think that you got to realize. Does everybody here have pocket puts in their account? Let me say that pocket puts. Okay. Uh, those pocket puts. Okay. I think we're going to have a window Monday morning to take some profit on those. We'll see. But we're approaching mid-March. And if you look at the market historically, okay, you will see, I think you're going to see a lot of people coming out of the woodwork to take positions. And I think that's going to happen. We haven't seen it yet, but by Wednesday or Thursday of next week, you should see it. And that seasonal trend that we talked about this week should come into play about midweek, but that won't be before they wreak harm and stuff. And I don't want you to forget about my NVIDIA. Just don't get lulled to sleep about it. As long as it's above 174, that is your all bets off number. Okay. And I think that we just got to, do some stuff. Okay. Rob, if you're not out of that, I would hold it. He's got one of the puts he didn't take his 20% on. I would hold it into Monday at least. I wouldn't get out of any of the pocket puts today. Okay. I mean, I think you've seen the best of anything you can see. Yeah, silver and gold, I'll cover that when we go to a live market, Peter. Absolutely. It's going to be a good week, good day. And just, I can just feel it in my bones that if everybody gets on board, we're going to have something to talk about. That's my opinion.
All right, Tom. So we're going to move into our train and trade presentation here today. Train and trade occurs every Monday through Friday in the month of March at 11 a.m. Eastern. So welcome in. Glad to see everybody here. Our YouTube audience, I'm watching the chat over there. Great to see you guys. W Smart, Wendy, we got Taryn. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And who else? JG, good to see you. And of course, all our friends in the Zoom room. We got a lot of people paying attention here today, so let's keep rolling. What have we got on topic today, Jonathan? Or actually, I suppose I should say the reminder all trades in Train and Trade are tracked through T-Buzz Talk and Trade. You can join there, dtitrader.com/TNT for the latest information on the market.
And let me just tell you what the value of that is. When we put it into T-Buzz Talk and Trade, I'm looking at these trades throughout the day after I put it on. Your odds of success goes off the charts if I can watch something and track it that I tell you about. And so, an example would be, hey, I'm going along SLV, and I find out after 2 or 3 o'clock a day, I don't like it. I might take a smaller profit than I would by going for the big one on an option or something like that. I think people tell me all the time with T-Buzz Talk Trade, and Chuck, you came to a class, you talk to people too about how valuable this T-Buzz Talk and Trade is to cement everything that we do. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. The T-Buzz Talk and Trade, not just the class we do here, but those messages in that TNT channel really help to frame what I'm looking at in the market each morning. And I'm sure that as our subscribers and students come in and get used to that channel, they're going to gain a perspective of what the morning market is like thanks to the TNT channel. All right, so let's go through. Tom, we want to talk a little bit about new options education resource, changing the link there, dtitrader.com/options edu. For those of you who don't trade futures, if you want to get more involved on the stock side and want to control risk, options are a great way to do that. Of course, there is always risk in trading, got to make that clear. But learning how to trade options is a tool that you want to add to your arsenal whether you're going to use it or not, you want to understand what's happening. And we certainly have opportunities where we can use that, but we want to make sure that you understand the process. So if you're interested in learning, make sure you go to dtitrader.com/options edu.
And let me tell you something. Adam Mallory was instrumental in putting this thing together. And I want to take my hat off to Adam for taking the ingenuity, the creativity, and working this thing until we got it. It's just pretty cool that he was able to do that. And I think that's, when I see somebody that's worked for me as long as Adam has, then and does something like that as a surprise, it's really good. So we'll be using that from now on.
Yeah, and Jonathan is showing us a little bit of that on the screen right there.
Why don't you explain what they're seeing, Jonathan?
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt you, but it's a very cool website that Adam made. So if you click on home, you can see you can kind of explore at your own pace. Says start here, right? You can click on all lessons for start here. Let's see where it takes us. From the very basics of what American style options are to all the way down here at the bottom. What is an option? Time decay, defined risk versus undefined risk. So pretty cool website that he did. Very cool. Tons and tons of information I should add as well here. So you've got debit versus credit spread. We use those all the time. And then some other strategies that we don't use that often, like straddles and strangles. But looks like everything's here. If I click on learning paths over here to the left, how about hedging and protection? Right here. Good time to go through that. So yeah, very cool website here. I'm going to repost the link, but it's right there on the slides as well. dtitwitter.com/optionsedu for options
And
education.
what is the cost of that? You know,
It's completely free. Glad
it's
you asked.
free.
Completely free. Yeah, that's right.
That ought to be a game winner.
Absolutely. So
I'd
take some
buy
time this
Adam a drink
weekend.
if
Check
you
it
ever
out.
see him.
Yeah, when we get the Sawgrass in a couple months, if you're there, you come across Adam, make sure you say, hey, nice job. Fantastic website. Lots of good feedback in the chat too.
That's great. We're gonna get that posted uh, with a video in our YouTube channel too. You know,
That's a great idea. Great idea. And of course, this slide will stay on the training trade slides for a little bit so everybody knows about it. We've added it to the additional resources as well. But check out these other resources if you have some time this weekend. Tom's First Book, also another free resource for you. How about that? You get to listen to his first book, chapter by chapter, with that link there. Of course, the white paper booklet. Tom's YouTube page, we've already talked about extensively today. Important terms to know. A very good audio recording called Tom's Penalty Tape. You should listen to that at least once a year.
I got to tell you, let me tell you a funny story. Okay, I was talking to a student, and he's been with us since 22, I guess. 22. What's that? 4 years, Jonathan?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And he tells me he's up about 150,000. I said, I don't really recognize your name or anything. He said, well, I never bought anything. And I said, you never bought anything? I said, you got to buy something. So he bought the weekly newsletter. Folks, we don't put junk out there is what I'm trying to tell you. You know, if anyway, I'm gonna try to get him to come to Sawgrass. I don't know if he will or not, but that's pretty strong, isn't it? I'm glad y'all are not that way, huh?
Now, we're here every day at 11, Tom, and this is what we covered so far this week. On Monday, we talked about the first 3 days.
Yeah, flip the slide.
Let's see. Am I still showing the slides? Yeah. Yeah, it should be flipped now. Okay. So on Monday, the first 3 days, we always talk about that. We talked about the 24-hour market. We mentioned that just a reminder that, all 12 months of the year are not going to set up bullish. And we're in a 2-month stretch here where that's the case. Got to show a little patience, got to change the way you trade the markets during this time. I think Tom's done a great job of picking and choosing where to get into the market and out of the market. On Tuesday, we talked about, quote, big elephant hunting with NVIDIA, everybody's favorite stock. On Wednesday, we talked about seasonality. That was an interesting session there on seasonality Wednesday. And yesterday, we did everybody's favorite beat the box, going through about 50 tickers and getting Tom's opinion on that. And Tom, you wanted to do that every week. Return to that every week with
Yeah, I think we can improve upon it, and so the nice thing about it is that it lets you get some of the answers nobody else gives you, and we'll just do it on Thursday in here.
Sounds like a plan. Yep. Today's topic, Tom, you wanted to cover making money on Fridays.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, if you look at the trend and you stand back and look at it, it's a downtrend, correct? But it's not far enough to really hurt you if you did what we did. In other words, circle the wagons prior to the war. We're really positioned to take advantage of it. But I do have a trade that I plan on doing today and track it over in TNT. Okay, I do have a trade, Jonathan, and we'll do that once we go live, and I'll show people what it is.
Good deal. Look forward to it.
All right, let's focus on those who listen already made money this morning. Let me explain. This morning, the Magic 5, I put NVIDIA, if it got above 85.55, we got two techniques. You can buy the stock, right? Or you can buy options at 9:30. Palantir, Airbnb, I said if it goes below 126.40, it might be a good put buy. I said MU above 410.55, you already go long. And I said that the QQQ would be good above 601.55. Go look at it. It was a great trade this morning, early, 601.55. But anyway, the trade I'm focusing on for training purposes is MU. Now, that's an expensive stock, right? Does everybody agree it's an expensive stock? And I know everyone can't afford to buy a $410 stock, but you don't have to buy 100 shares. Let me show you an example. And I did these small classes. I had a guy who said, hey, if it sets up, I typically buy the stock prior to 8:30 and then switch over to options. But let me tell you what he did or what he would have done if he did it today. So we got a signal on MU. It's easy to see through the news and everything. This stock had higher prices. So how many shares would you have to buy to pay for a month's subscription TNT? Anybody know the answer to that? How many shares would you have to buy on the movement of Micron to pay for a scholarship? Okay. Today's high was 429 and the trigger was 410.55. Everybody got it? So I got a buy signal once it goes above 410.55. Well, the problem is the option does not open to 9:30. So for you to use it, you got to buy shares early, right? But now you got a setup. Let's go through that, Jonathan. What was the setup? How many shares? A 19-point move on 10 shares would have paid you your $200 and you own Scott. Everybody, just stop and think about what I'm doing every day for people to pay attention to this. So if you take a stock that goes above my trigger and you buy it prior to the opening, if you're up at the trigger price, chances are you're going to get a scholarship. Now, how many people think in the way I'm thinking? Because now you've got money you put in a stock, right? That you might want to take over to the options. Well, if you went on margin, it could take you about $2,250. Well, you don't have 2,000, you put 1,000, you still got 50% of your cost. Does this make sense to everybody? How to do that at these triggers? If you do that, you will never pay for TNT, not with information I give you early. So if you're trading the pre-market, you go in and check the triggers and see if anything's setting up. Okay? The trading options after the could have paid the aggressive trade faster and less capital required to make the trade, right? Okay. So if you go out 14 days to expiration, you'd pay $10 for one call that would have paid you the same thing at 9:30, right? Now, if you're worried about if you don't have a day trade, you do 3 a week, right? You can do 3 of those a week, Philip. Okay. If you don't have an account that qualifies, you can do 3 of these plays a week. But if you wait for the options, it was still there. You could have bought a call. Here's my point. Every day there's a technique you can use to take advantage of information I give you. Now, if you can't do a day trade to hit your target, sell a call up higher and get out tomorrow. So there's a lot of ways to skin this cat if you do it smartly. So here's what we know. You got 3 trades that you can day trade a week, right? You've got options that you can spread, okay? You got options you can spread to avoid a day trade. So why can't you do it? And this is just one small thing that we do in TNT. I don't know about you, but if you only did 1 trade a week using what we give you, you got what? Every day you get a new list, or some of them are the same, but you got every day you got the numbers. One of the students suggested I gave you the trigger numbers. I started doing that about 1.5 years ago. I don't know who told me to do that, but that was a smart idea because he was wanting to look at his phone and see when to get in. He's out walking. Okay. We made his walk very, very priceless because now he can make a little money while he's walking. Get paid to walk. I like it. All right. So every day you can do it. Secondly, you know my pivot number and you know if RB2 is positive. If you have a futures account, you can make money on the micro E-mini. You can go long if that thing is bullish on the micro E-mini using a stop below the low. You don't have day trade requirements over there, but you can do it. There's a lot of ways. Don't let Wall Street tell you if you got a small account, you can't make money. If you got a big account, you love it. But if you got a small account, this is great. You'll have a big account if you listen to what I'm talking about. Okay? Now, RB1 high was 67.37. The pivot number is 66.75. RB2 high was 66.72. You see the difference? You heard the early bird gets the worm. I guess they named it after me because I've been early my whole life. And so this is how you can benefit from that advice. Does everybody give me a yes if you understand this? I want to make sure everybody understands because I want to take the details and go through it. Okay, perfect. Makes it more valuable, doesn't it, when you know this, right? Now, the Magic 5, sometimes all 5 of them pay. And if you can't do all 5, pick 1 or 2. How do you know which one of the 2 to pick? Go to the trigger number and make sure if it's a long, it's like this. There's money to be made for people who want to be traders. I give it out every day. I get up every day and do it. First thing I do is get on there and do it. Now, let's cover some additional reasons why you want to be involved in TNT. I followed the market throughout the day, but I got help, don't I? I got Chuck Crow and Jonathan Rowe. They are posting information in there. They talk to me throughout the day. They're posting information, but the good news is they're putting some pertinent stuff in there. And, little things like, hey, this is an up day. Hey, this is a down day. Hey, this is a day you got to be careful. All that stuff gets posted inside TNT. I really go where they're paying. That's my goal. Okay. Now, this was something I'm pointing out. Notice I said that futures opened the week at 98. At the time I posted that, they were 95. They went down to about 93. What am I thinking? People have been with me a long time about crude oil and crude oil plays like USO. What am I thinking? Well, going short is true, but how and when will I do it? So here's my big bonus to anybody that joins or part of TNT. I'm going to get short crude at the right time. And if you do it the way I'm thinking about doing it, anybody use an extra 20,000? Well, guess what? I go on watch next week, but you got to be in TNT to get it. It's going to be a good one. Why not say 20,000? Well, if you think about USO, it's right now at 118. It's bullish, right? I wouldn't touch that with your money. However, it's still bullish. I'm not shorting it or doing it, as I do this, okay? Because there's a better way. That's using puts, okay? Do y'all remember that video? I want you to go back and look at the BNN interview where I made 35,000 off a 10 lot, okay? That was years ago on Apple. I want you to go back and look at it. I'm going to try to have a repeat performance on USO. It's setting up, and we're going to take advantage of it, okay? So if you're with me, you need to get signed up, okay? You ought to go watch that interview because that interview tells you exactly what I'm thinking and how I'm doing it, okay? So we focus on what's doing for the market, okay? And what matters. Now we follow this. People tell me that I have this, I guess, trademark is the word. My trade ticket. It's even if you knew, you can do that. New trade. What ticker? The strategy. It's laid out for you. Okay? Pretty good. Isn't that pretty exciting? Yeah, sure is. Now, Bill said he can be out of pocket anywhere and go to TNT. And he's been with me a long time, but he goes there and gets caught up quick with great information from me and Chuck and John. Now, Jonathan, do me a favor. Put a slide in here with RB2 that Chuck posts. I'll show you the value of that.
Okay, give me just a minute.
Yeah,
just a minute.
I want to show you what Chuck puts in. I asked him to do this because sometimes I'm out of pocket too, but guess what? Chuck's got me taken care of because I go there at the current reference where he does it throughout the day and posts this information. And I love the form he does. It's easy to see, but I'm going to show you the opportunity, okay, that he posts in there every day. This is Chuck Pro. Vivian says, I love the TNT. If you look there, okay, if you look there at that posting, that is RB2. Okay, if you look at it, it tells you each track of reference bar, okay? Each track of reference bar. Notice, I want to bring your attention to something, okay? Notice SQQQ. I'll drop down, that's an easy one. SQQQ had a high of 71.90. Everybody see that? 71.90. Jonathan, tell them another way they can get a scholarship just off what Chuck posted. What's the current price?
Current price of SQQQ, that inverse, yes, or the NASDAQ is 75.61.
It's right there for you. And remind me to do a video on this because everybody's missing the boat. It's such great information. Chuck, thanks again for doing all that work and posting this because I'm telling you, very valuable. Now, as bullish as I am on NVIDIA, y'all see that 184 number right there, 84.70? What would I do, okay? What would I do if I saw that? I back away even though I'm bullish. You see how it saves me money? This is the kind of stuff that we're putting out. You got to take advantage of it. That's the reference point. Go to dtitrader.com/TNT. Call 904-706-3532. I'm going to make a commitment to you today, that people that join. Anybody that joins today will get the rest of March at no charge. We'll bill you for April. That's number one. That's a heck of a deal. Okay? If you sign up. That's number one. Number two, I will post crude oil in here when it's time to go and give you the strategy that I think will work best at the time it happens. Okay? Okay. Is that fair to get everybody on board for this run we're about to have? Wendy, what do you think? That's pretty fair for people, isn't it? They get the rest of this month and they get April. So tell me anybody taking me up on this. I want to know if this rings your bell because I can't make it any better than that. Give me a yes if you're going to take advantage of that. There's a yes. There's a yes. I got 2 yeses. There's a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I'm hitting a core, aren't I? Hitting a core. You're gonna love it. Now, Jonathan, it's up to you to break down TNT and make videos for each of the things we do in there, and get with me to help you do that. But we need to make no more than say 5 videos for the power of the 24-hour market using TNT. Okay, that'll be our project we work on. Okay.
Yep, we can do that.
That's what we'll do. I want to thank everybody for taking me up on this because I tell you, this is people. I'm not telling you anything students are not telling me. I'll just ask, who's in TNT? And everything I said is 100% true. It's so valuable, it's scary. Somebody type that in there and I will copy and paste it because I'm going to tell you, everybody I run into, Tom, TNT is so valuable. Well, it's going to get even more valuable when I show everybody from the spectrum, the small or big, how to take advantage of it. So I'm pretty excited about that project. We'll get it out by April. That'll be our goal, those videos. Wendy watched it for months, watched me talk about it and didn't join, but she's not hesitating anymore. We proved to her, right? Why don't we take, Jonathan, why don't we take about, put a thing up 5 minutes, and then when we come back, we're going to go to a live market.
All right, 5-minute timer going up.
Copy what Kevin said too. That's good for everybody to see.
Let's see, chat. Copy what Kevin said. Let's see. Kevin says TNT has changed the way I trade and invest every morning and throughout the day and night. You receive updates. Best money ever spent. That's pretty good there, Kevin. Thanks for posting that. I'll share that with the team. Make everybody feel good. All right, let me start that 5-minute timer. Thanks for the reminder there, James. We'll be back in 5 minutes to go to a live market. All right, timer is up. Let's go to the live market. Got about 7 minutes before the Genesis bar is concluded. Down near the lows. 66.40 is the low, 66.50 current price.
The first stock we're going to look at, Jonathan, is General Motors.
General Motors, yeah. Now here's a daily chart, Tom, of General Motors.
I'm trying to bring it back up. Let me do that real quick. I can't put some button. Hold on. Trying to get the chart back up. Let's see, there it is. Got it. Would y'all say that's in a downtrend? All right, well, here's a trade on General Motors that I think you can do. You can sell the 75 call, buy the 76 call that expires next Friday. How much can you get for that, Jonathan? Now,
I'm sorry, Tom, I was muted. That's marked at 27 cents. You probably didn't hear the word I
all
said.
right, so here's the strategy. It expires next Friday, but if RB3 on Monday is not negative, I'd get out of the trade. And we'll follow this in TNT. Everybody understand what I'm talking about? In other words, it's a great trade, but I want to exit. I think we might be down Monday morning. That's why I told people make sure you got your pocket puts. But if I'm wrong, I'm going to know between 9:30 and 10 on this trade. Everybody understand? Give me a yes if you take the trade, you understand that, okay? And I'll set parameters in TNT. I'll be following it with you. I've got several of them, so I'll let you know, okay? Now, just on per chance, you sell it at 27 cents today and it goes to 11, I'm taking it. So today's target would be 11 cents if I wanted to take it. But I think Monday it's going to be, if the market's down, the stock's going to come down lower, okay? Now, let me tell you why. Go back to the roadmap, please.
And just to be clear, Tom, you want to issue this trade right now for TNT?
Yeah, issue it for TNT.
Okay, we'll do.
And let me know when you're ready for me to go further.
Just want to get it posted to the channel, and then there it is. You can move on now, Tom.
All right. Everybody understand? If it breaks 71 today, we'll get filled at 11 cents today. But this is a nice trade. It's got good resistance up there at 75. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. Looking at today, that's a big number. Yeah, they're paying 27 cents. I'm taking it. Risk is there, but I won't stay with it past Monday more than likely. Okay. All right, that's that trade. Let's look at E-mini. Let me frame the world.
Okay.
Folks, we're at a major level on the E-mini. See that 66.40 area that was the low? Chuck, wasn't that the low? 40, what was the low? Tell me real quick what the low this morning was. Was it 45?
Yeah, it was 66.40. You got it the first time.
Okay. So if this market ends up breaking 66.40, they're going to put some hurting on it. I think all the way down to about that target 66.15. Okay. That's what I think. We'll see. Where would I be changing my mind? Above my pivot number, which is 66.75. So I got a number that tells me I'm wrong with my thinking, and I got a number that tells me I'm right with my thinking. See what I did right there for you? Jonathan, they said you posted the QQQ, not General Motors.
And I've since deleted that and posted the correct one, GM. Thanks for the note there, Steve, though.
Yeah, Steve, always keep us on it. Everybody can do stuff like that. I can do it all the time. So the other stock that I pointed out in TNT today was Airbnb. Put Airbnb in there.
Airbnb.
All right, let's analyze. I said go short in TNT this morning if it broke 126.40. It's down below 126.23. Well, how would you go short? And how long would you stay? I think this trade's good for 72 hours. Anybody interested in this trade? Okay, go out, Jonathan, on Airbnb. See how far I'd go out on Airbnb. Let's go out to March 27th, Jonathan, March 27th.
Airbnb, March 27th. Okay.
Let's buy a 124 put and sell a 119 put. Well, put it. Let me look at that chart again, Jonathan, real quick.
That's a 30-minute chart of
Yeah,
Airbnb.
put the daily up, please. Okay, do a 124, 121.
That 3 wide spread is marked about 96 cents, a little wide, so you must use a limit order.
That's the one you want. 124, 121. Why did I go 3 wide instead of 6 wide? Great question. I'm gonna pay 98 cents. I'm getting in. I'm gonna sell at $1.19.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Now that'll be tracked in TNT. The reason I went 124, 121, I said, Jonathan, show me that chart. You want to go back to the chart, Jonathan? Roadmap chart. All right. If you look at the low that was created at 116, it came up to 126. came up to 126, and then it came down across the board about 120 and a half. You got a lot of support at 120 and a half if it breaks. So I think if it drops, okay, then I think it ought to be good. Anyway, we'll see. And if we're down Monday, should be able to get $1.20 off 98 cents. Got in. I think those are two good ways to cap off an excellent session here in Train and Trade. And yeah, use limits to get in, just set your limit to get out. I like it. People know me, know I like those dollar options, don't I? All right, so last minute advisory. If you have stock that you own right now, and Mike, I'm talking to you, Bill, make sure you got covered calls against all of them. Okay? Make sure you got covered calls against all of it. You don't want to go into Monday next week without having covered calls, because if we do have a sharp reaction, it'll give you a little seed money. Go back 30 minutes. If the bar after this is lower, then I think we can get paid today. We'll see. Pretty good. Well, those are two good possibility trades. Big trade on the horizon. Go back to our slide program. Go to dtitrader.com/TNT. Two big bonuses. Number one, you get a 15-day free pass and just paying for April right now. Okay. Mike, I would do 25 cents. You can't get filled on that. Covered calls short, Bruce, I'd go into next week, because at the middle of next week, I think, if I'm right, we're to shake, rattle, and roll people out today and next week, if I'm right. But again, like I said, if it goes above 75, you got to pull back, because I could be wrong on this afternoon. We'll see. That's why we have reference for it. But right now is I just got filled at 98 cents. John, could you put the trade ticket into TNT? The expiration for this one, Rhonda, is what is the expiration? The expiration for this one, March 27th. Steve, you'll have to get that on a video, because we need to wrap this up. I got to go do live trading next. Yeah, it's a debit, 98 cents. Target, $1.19. Maybe by live trading, this thing falls out of bed and we get paid up, right? Y'all enjoy the way we did TNT today? I think it was a very good session. And thanks to all those people that did decide to join. Jonathan, I think I did everything I can do right now. I need to stand back and look at this market.
You got it. Let me pull up a stream for TNT and we'll see at 1:30.
Are you gonna play a recording here?
I sure am.
Okay, guys, he's gonna replay everything I did.